Hello, and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2. We are continuing on with CODA. This is episode 2. Pretty much what happened in the last episode, it was revealed that Haruki and Setsuna are still dating. They both have their own jobs, and of course, Haruki has to go on a business trip to Europe, which goes past Christmas Eve, breaking their see each other once a week rule. Setsuna's not very happy about that, though. Let's see how things go. In other words, this year we can't even celebrate the overcoming of our trauma there.
なんとかならないの？ギリギリ24日中に帰ってくることは？
それが24日の午前中までパリで仕事で。
In order to make the trip more efficient, I received work from other editing departments as well. And before I knew it, my schedule had gotten longer and longer. But that's a secret. And that's what happens when you overwork yourself.
どうしてもダメってこと？
本当にごめん。
But it can't be helped. Given that I've been dubbed Kazuoka's successor, or Kazuoka the Second, I would never allow myself to tarnish the name of my esteemed superior. So what, are you just gonna keep doing this forever? Are you just gonna keep overworking yourself forever? Because if it was her, she could handle going to 2 or 3 additional countries with ease.
Setsuna.
Setsuna slowly releases her grip from my hand, as well as the head that was on my chest, and the legs that were wrapped around mine.
もう知らない。
I thought she would move herself away from me, but all she did was turn around. Along with the blanket that was wrapped around us.
セツナ。おい。セツナちゃん。
When I try to talk to her or shake her shoulder through the blanket, she just shows me her back and pretends to be asleep. When I found out about my trip's schedule, I already knew this ordeal was coming. But now that it's actually happening, it really does feel draining.
お土産買ってくるから。欲しいもの何でも言っていいから。ビでも、チでも、プラでも、メスでも。
I love it when they bleep things out. It's so funny to me. So please, at least share the blanket with me.
そんなのいらない。
セツナ。
はるきくん、私のこと全然わかってない。そんな高いお土産もらったくらいで許しちゃうほど安い女じゃないんだもん。
Yeah, exactly.
そんなことわかってるって。
Well, then why did you even suggest it? That's just kind of rude. From under the blanket, I can hear that Setsuna's voice is tearful in earnest.
なあ、セツナ。こっち向いて。
So I try to put her heart at ease by putting my hand under the blanket and gently patting her shoulder.
いやらしい手つきで触らないで。そういうことされるとつい嬉しくて、いつの間にかごまかされちゃうんだもん。
She's a very simple woman underneath it all.
悪い。
What she said made me happy, but at the same time I pulled my hand back. If just the slightest touch can quell her, doesn't that make her even cheaper? No, it doesn't. It means you can't just give her gifts and expect her to be happy. She wants you. She wants to be with you, to hang out with you, to have her date with you. Don't you dare call her cheap over that. Well, I know for a fact that someone like me just isn't a match for someone like Setsuna at all. If I'm the customer, she is the woman putting discount after discount on herself, selling herself at a loss. Wow, that's deep.
ごめん。
But as for me, I betrayed the love and trust she placed in me. If I don't get it back somehow...
毎日電話するから。帰ったらすぐに会いに行くから。会社休み取ってゆっくり過ごそう。 そうだ、帰ってきたら旅行に行かないか？セツナの行きたいところ、どこにだって付き合うからさ。
旅行。
そう、旅行。
As if Haruki would take a week off of work. She took the bait. Now's my chance.
スキーでもいいし、テーマパークで遊び倒しても、温泉で年末年始ゆっくり過ごすのもいいな。セツナ、のんびりする方が好きだもんな。
旅行か。
明日計画立てないか？年末年始のさ。
And as if you can get time off during the new year. Impossible. Absolutely impossible, because around the new year is a long holiday in Japan. It's usually when people get a week off. And for Haruki to be able to suddenly request the most requested week of the year off, not gonna happen. Absolutely not gonna happen. Well, it seems like that's it. Setsuna is definitely interested.
一緒に旅行代理店行こう。安くしてくれる知り合いがいるんだよ。前の上司の親友でさ、今度の出張でも。
I already got my winter bonus money, and I don't plan on putting a price limit on Setsuna's smile. Aw, that's nice.
行きたいところ、どこでもいいの？
もちろん、北海道でも九州でも、なんなら足を伸ばして香港とかグアムとか。
Because just like how Setsuna always devalues herself from me, I always see her as the most valuable thing in my life.
フランス。
え
12月24日。クリスマスミサ。一緒に行きたい。ストラスブールの大聖堂の。
Setsuna, I know he said anywhere, but it's like I said about the hotel. Maybe it's not my place to judge, but I don't always think that reliving your trauma is the best way to get over your trauma. You know what I mean? And so for them to go to Strasbourg, it just, I don't know. It doesn't seem so good. At least, that's what I thought. The wish Setsuna mentioned is beyond the issue of just the price. Just as she said, she's definitely not a cheap girl.
France だと？
I mean, she's out of university. She shouldn't have to ask permission.
はい。それでぜひセツナさんと同行したく、お父さんのお許しをいただきに上がった次第で。
It still reads so funny when in English they call them mother and father, because you don't really do that in the West. But in Japan, it's completely normal to call your boyfriend or girlfriend's mom, especially if you're like fiancé level, to call them otosan, okasan. So it's just odd in English.
なんでそんな変に硬い言い方になっちゃうの？春樹くん、いつもと全然違うよ。
Well, of course I'm going to act stiff.
海外旅行？しかも結婚前の娘と二人きりで。
すいません。
And with that, our Sunday date went something like this. After going to the travel agency, our next stop was the Ogiso household. My stomach hurts.
なあなあ、せっかくのフランス旅行なのに、なんでそんなわけわかんない田舎行くんだよ。
Takahiro is so handsome. He's such a handsome little lad.
そうよ。ストなんとかなんて聞いたことないわよ。フランスならパリでしょ、普通。お買い物だって絶対そっちの方が。
もう分かってないんだから二人とも。世界遺産なんだよ。まるで中世そのままの街並みなんだから。
京都だって平安時代そのままの街並みだよ。
そうよ。海外の観光客に京都は大人気でしょ。それと同じことじゃない。
でもね、お土産に民芸品とかいらないのよね。
So blunt.
そうそう。変なキルトとか買ってこられても置き場に困るっていうか。
お前たちちょっと静かにしてなさい。私は北原君と話をしてるんだ。
すいません。
I don't even know why I'm apologizing, but if I don't take the initiative to apologize, I don't think he would be able to calm himself.
それで聞かせてもらおうか。どういうつもりでそんな旅行を計画したのかを。
仕事の都合でクリスマスの最中はヨーロッパにいることになったので、刹那さんと本場のクリスマスを過ごしたいと。
The one who came up with this plan was your own daughter. That's something I'd never allow myself to say. As a man. As a man. Why does Haruki always have to say things like that? Really?
一度行ってみたかったの。本場のクリスマスミサ。
でも観光地なんでしょ？よく今から予約が取れたわね。
うん。本来なら数ヶ月前から満室なんだけど、ちょうどうまい具合にキャンセルが入ってて。
Or rather, it's most likely Sawako-san abusing her power. At first, when we were talking with the agent there, it seemed almost silly because we were asking for the impossible. But the moment Sawako-san showed up, everything changed. How should I put it? She just spoke in several different languages on the phone for a bit, then she finished reserving Setsuna's ticket and a hotel room for two in less than 10 minutes. Man, people in the industry are amazing. For an unreasonably low price as well.
非常識だとは思わなかったのかね。仕事の出張にガールフレンドを同行させるなんて、そんな公私混同。
合流するのは向こうでの仕事が終わった後です。それに昨日上司に話して許可をもらいました。一応会社の方には筋を通したつもりです。
Perhaps feeling guilty over pushing this business trip on me, Hamada-san acquiesced rather easily.
しかし海外なんて、もしも刹那に万が一のことがあったら。
同行している間は刹那さんの安全は保証します。とりあえず自分の力の及ぶ範囲では必ず。
Their family is so close. I can't even imagine, like, having to ask permission from my dad to go somewhere after you graduated university and you have a full-time job. If I say I'll put my life on the line here, I'll probably get approval from the ladies, but I'm sure that'll have the opposite effect on Setsuna's father. Even though that's what I'm planning to do anyway.
どうせ新婚旅行で行くんじゃん。今さらそんな心配するのってただの言いがかりだよな。
Takahito's so funny. He's like the voice of reason for young people.
高弘。
ともかく君はまだ刹那と将来の約束をしたわけでもないだろう。それなのに二人きりで旅行なんて。
それも今さらじゃん。だって姉ちゃん週末はいっつも外泊してるし。
Oh my god, Takahito, no. Okay, I trusted you. Why? Why you gotta throw her under the bus like this? This is bad. At this rate, I'll soon be leaving the realm of being able to calmly persuade him with reason.
それでも北原さんと一緒にいるって言ったら何のお咎めもないんだからさ。なら今回の旅行だって北原さんと一緒だったら OK って理屈だよね。
お前は黙っていろ。
お前はもう死んでいる。No, but for real, he's so funny. I love Setsuna's dad. And if you listen to the White Album 2 radio show episodes, I have a few of them up on my YouTube. They actually talk to the voice actor behind her dad, and he's such a funny person. He does act very fatherly towards Setsuna's voice actress, even off camera. Very cute.
高弘くん、それくらいに。
If it becomes a matter of emotional arguments, I stand no chance. Setsuna will have to stand up and convince him, but then it'll turn into a family feud within the Ogiso family. Most likely, neither I nor her father wish to see that happen.
春樹くんね、スペインとイタリア回ってから最後にパリなんだって。
あら、そうなの？何よ、それ早く言いなさいよ。パリに行かないものだと思っちゃってたじゃない。
Setsuna's mom really wants nice presents.
おう、イタリアにも行くんだ。俺すっげえ欲しい靴があるんだよ。イタリアのマイナーなメーカーのでさ。
いや、だからお前たち、北原君は仕事で行くんだから、そんな公私混同は。
いいですよ。何でも言ってください。量が多かったら送りますから。
Buying affection.
私はまだ認めたわけじゃないんだぞ。
すいません。
However, after Setsuna said that one sentence, the victory was pretty much ours.
よかったね。お父さんの許可も無事もらえて。
あれを無事と言うんだろうか。
Haruki needs a nap now. And some ibuprofen. In the end, her father still had a very stern look on his face. Since I had her mother and Takahiro-kun on my side, under the relentless assault from everyone aside from me, her father could do nothing but remain on the defense. In other words, they did the one thing I feared the most, winning an emotional argument.
お父さん、気の毒に。
別に気にすることないよ。お土産にブランデーの一本でもあれば、きっと機嫌も取り戻すから。
Oh, there you go. That's a nice souvenir.
そういう問題なのかな。
Well, it's true that by the time I was going home after they had treated me to dinner, he was already drunk on the brandy he had.
そういう問題だよ。私は無事帰ってくる。たくさん思い出作ってくる。いいことずくめなのに怒る理由はないんだもん。
でもさ、俺どうしてもお父さんの方に感情移入してしまうというか、理屈は正しいのに言い負けるのは納得いかないというか。
Absolutely not. I think this is kind of a sexist thing for him to be saying. Setsuna is not owned by her dad. She shouldn't need all of this permission to be able to live her life. And now Haruki's like, yeah, well, as a man, I can see where he's coming from. Absolutely not. She is not a thing. She is a person. I hate this kind of logic. I have always held the conviction that the person who says what's right is right. Well, aside from my relationships with women.
大丈夫。安心して、はるきくん。私、今からまたお父さんとゆっくり話すから。そして、今度は理屈で分かってもらうよ。
せつな。
だって私、みんな、お父さんのこと嫌いじゃないし、むしろ大好きだし。
あ、
絶対にちゃんと分かってもらうから。だから安心して、はるきくん。
Love your father. Huh. To be able to say something like that so unabashedly is one of the most amazing aspects of the Ogiso household. And Setsuna. I mean, maybe it's amazing to Haruki, maybe it would be amazing to Kazusa, but for most average families, it's not that amazing. Something I, or any other slightly bitter person, could never emulate. It's a beauty that can never be replaced. I already know this, but I can't simply accept it, even now.
何？
Setsuna is staring at me with a confused expression.
やっぱり、少し似てるよね。お父さんとはるきくん。
え、どこが？
真面目で、厳格で、融通が利かなくって。
She says that as she lightly pokes at my nose repeatedly.
けれどとっても優しくて、私のこと一生懸命大事にしてくれる。
Aw, that's nice. Setsuna gazes at me with a smile, her eyes mischievous, yet full of love. That's a good way to summarize Setsuna, actually.
俺はそんなあの人の域になんか全然。
私ね、はるきくんにほんの少しだけお父さんを重ねてみてたのかも。だから私があなたを好きになるのは 必然だったのかもしれないね。だって私、お母さんの娘なんだもん。
In the face of such misdirected praise that's of the highest caliber, I find myself unable to respond. It's been 10 minutes since Setsuna said she would see me off. We should have said our goodbyes and walked our separate ways by now.
それでもね、春樹くんはやっぱりお父さんとは色々と違うところも多くって。だから、春樹くんは春樹くんなんだなーって。
例えばどんなとこが？
想像したよりもずっとエッチだったこと。
Oh my god, really?
お父さんだって本当はそうかもしれないじゃないか。
We don't have to go there. We don't have to go there at all.
そうだね。今度お母さんに聞いてみないと。
You don't have to ask her that. Oh my god, please don't ask her that.
いや、自分で言っておいてなんだけど、それはやめておいた方が。
でもね、そんなエッチな春樹くんこそが、こんなにエッチな私にはちょうどよかった。
せつな。
We were supposed to say goodbye now. Yet we couldn't let each other go. Our time together stretches out little by little. Is no one looking out the window of the Ogiso household wondering where the daughter is? The dad's gonna look outside and just have a conniption, like...
せつな。
バイバイ。
Oh, that was so cute.
電話するね。
待ってる。
じゃ
あ、
じゃあ、ね。
おやすみ。
また、今度ね。
1週間以内に。
おやすみ。
While immersing ourselves in happiness.
それじゃあ週明けから初の海外出張へと旅立つ北原春樹くんの健康と無事と仕事の失敗を祈って。
I'm so happy to see Takeya. He is looking good. He is looking fresh. He's looking confident. He is living his best life.
おい、生意気なんだよ。1年目で海外出張なんて。乾杯！
乾杯！
Yay! Yay for everybody except for Tomo. Why is she here? I don't want to see her. I still haven't forgiven her. Io looks beautiful though. Her hair looks a little bit more black than blue now. Following Takeya's highly inappropriate toast, everyone brought their glasses together. It's Friday night. Since I'm going on a business trip next week, I was miraculously allowed to leave early, which is why I can indulge in the company of my friends for the first time in quite a while.
ねえ、春樹くん何頼む？私、冷ややっこと揚げ豆腐と豆腐サラダと。
冷ややっこと揚げ餅とシーザーサラダにしないか？
Of course, Setsuna is huddled right next to me as always.
あ、ホッケと串盛り合わせと牛肉コロッケよろしく。
It's so funny. Setsuna's order being a bunch of cutesy girly tofu dishes. Not that they're always girly, but stereotypically. And then Io's just being super manly.
と生追加。
いきなりピッチ上げるな。俺はお前のチキンレースには付き合わんからな。
As for Io, she rushed over even though she's still not used to wearing high heels yet. In fact, she always tries to rush everywhere. She's hardly a good fit for high heels.
あんま飲みすぎんなよ、イオ。もし意識を失ったら目覚めた時俺が隣で気だるげにタバコ吸ってんぞ。
Great to see these two joking around as usual. And of course, my friendship with the completely composed Takeya, who somehow has managed to become a proper member of society, remains intact. The four of us haven't changed since our university days. No, since our high school days. I don't think that's really necessarily a good thing. I think from the time you're in high school to the time you're graduated and have a job, you should have probably changed at least a little bit.
北原さん、私シャックのバッグ後で型番メールするから間違えないでね。
Of course.
日本にだって売ってるし、通販でも買えるから。
なんでお前がここにいるんだよ。
Exactly, my sentiment exactly.
私ウーロン茶おかわり。あとトマトスライスと海藻サラダ。サラダはドレッシング抜きで。
Wow.
相変わらず人の話を聞かない子だよね。
Let me correct myself a little. There's actually 5 of us who haven't changed since we were in university, and we've only changed slightly since our high school days.
いいじゃないですか。今日はめでたい日なんですから。実はですね、私先月土壇場でようやく東亜テレビに内定決まったんですよ。
Well, good for you.
マジ？キー局じゃないか。
マジみたい。内定通知10回くらい見せられたし。
Ever since that concert, before we knew it, she had already become one of us. This beautiful rose that's full of thorns.
意外と粘るな。そろそろ脱ぐ頃だと思ってたんだけど。
Oh my god, that's super rude.
そもそもグラビアアイドルとかやってた人間をよく採用する気になったよね、テレビ局が。
まあそこは普段からたゆまぬ努力の賜物と言いますか。可能な限り人脈と弱みは握っておくに限ると言いますか。
Of course she did. Yanagihara Tomo, 4th year economics department student at Hojo University. Being Miss Hojo 2 years ago, she still gives off that air even now on campus.
その時の光景が目に浮かぶようだ。
後でスキャンダルにならなきゃいいけど。
スキャンダルも話題作りとして利用すればいいんです。どうせ最終目標は早めに退社してフリーになって女優やアーティストとしても活躍することなんだし。
I will say, as far as people following their dreams and having a good idea of how to put together a life for themselves, I will say Tomo knows what she's doing here. And I'm not going to say that's a compliment. I'll just say that she does have a plan.
口ではこんなこと言ってるけど、彼女本当に死に物狂いで努力してたんだよ。ボイストレーニングも英会話ももちろん勉強も。
信じがたいけど、そうらしいな。
Just like back then, Yanagihara Tomo is still pestering Setsuna. However, their strange friendship has continued even after Setsuna graduated, though I'm not even sure it should be considered one. She's shown up countless times at house parties at the Ogiso household. She knew that Setsuna wanted a job at a records company and did everything to pull the strings in her favor. Okay, well, at least she was useful here. I still don't like her that much. Setsuna sees her singing as a half hobby, but Yanagihara-san takes it completely seriously and takes Setsuna along for voice training lessons to brush up on her singing. Even now, it seems she's trying to pull her famed connections to get that song published by a major label. What song, I wonder? Both Setsuna and Takeya seem a bit tired of her tenacity. She's a strange person, and we don't know whether she's a good person or not, even after all this time. She's like one of those good guys that's sometimes a bad guy, but they're still included in the good guy group. There's a word for it. I think it's chaotic good, maybe? Or maybe chaotic neutral. I don't think she's good.
だからな、大学で勉強ばっかしてた奴らは結局会社じゃ役に立たないんだよ。
Cheers to that.
そうなのかな。
大学生ってのはさ、遊ぶことによって社会と触れ合ってんだよ。バカやって人との付き合い方が分かってくんだよ。
まあ確かに飯塚先輩は7年間バカしかやってこなかったですけど。
Okay, got him.
で、そうやってると自然と社会人としてのスキルが磨かれてくんだって。研究に明け暮れてんなら大学に残った方がよっぽどいい。
I can see both sides of it. A big part of university is learning how to socialize and make connections and just developing yourself as a person, both as a worker and a social member of society.
営業の視点だけ。それもたった半年かじっただけで、そんな分かったようなこと言われてもね。
I can't get over Io's new look. They changed her hair slightly, and it just makes her look more like an adult, like a really beautiful woman. I love Io so much. But before we get more into this quad, no, actually there's 5. What do you call 5 people in a group? Pentagon? Anyway, before we get back to these 5, I will see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for being here today, and until the next time, take care.